The wording.
That's just. Oh, okay. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Please stand for the invocation, which will be led this morning by Ms. Boyles, and then followed by the pledge, which will be led by Parker Dillon.
Swears for the Lord's Prayer. Our
Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Okay, first of all, I want to welcome everyone here. We appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to come and share some good things with us about our school district. And also to our employees that are here, we appreciate your time away from your office, making sure we get everything straight up here. So thank you all for coming. We also I'd like to let you know if you do have comments that you'd like to direct to the board about agenda items or non-agenda items. There are two different times during the meeting where we will accept public comment. You need to fill out a card in the back, and please give it to Ms. Carla over here to my right, and you will be given 3 minutes. So, we will begin our meeting with item 2.1, approval of minutes, Glades County School Board public hearing, September 4th, 2025 at 5:30 p.m. I have a motion by Ms. Clement. Second by Ms. Furlong and a telemarketer. Is there any discussion?
Yes,
Okay.
it could be user error, and if it is, I'm embarrassed in front of all these people, but I want you to know that I'm having trouble locating
Okay.
the minutes, and I'm doing everything that people have told me as I restart, go back in, restart, and I go back in and I refresh, and I just can't find it. And I know full well it's supposed to be there, and I know Carla's uploaded it.
Yeah,
So
and
if we're,
do you have it open? I'll show you. Because it is hard to find. It took me a long time.
but I must confess, I asked, Kim, Ms. Clemens this morning, and she said that truly happens to her. So that's why I'm willing to
Oh,
say
okay,
this.
so sometimes when
That
you
she's
click.
doing what I'm doing, and it's just not showing up, so I'm bringing it out in case, the board docs people,
Might be a glitch. Okay.
might be a glitch, cause
So
I'm
you know where
good.
to click to open it.
you see?
View minutes.
I never, when I can't find it, that little thing is not appearing.
Okay.
Yes, I know that's exactly where it's supposed to be.
Okay.
And I look on both sides, I look on the outline and I look there, and I see what she has, but sometimes it's there.
Yeah, Ms. Clement just said if you're not logged in correctly, that won't show. Is that what happens to you, Ms. Clement?
It does, the login sometimes logs me off for some other reason, and so that's the only reason I know exactly what you're talking about, and my computer's a little special. But my technology knowledge is.
Well, I do it more than once, because like I say, I'm embarrassed even doing this, but I felt like it still has to be.
Well, now Carla knows that there is a issue that she will.
On everything else, yes, I'm getting, every time there's an attachment on everything, I get it. When I go to get the attachment for the board minutes, it's not there to click, and then, so I troubleshoot, my troubleshoot is to start over, or my troubleshoot is to refresh.
Okay.
And so I do that 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, you should be able to see it after all
Okay.
that. So between Amber and Carla, we'll hopefully get that fixed. And if anyone else has trouble with that, let them know as well. All right, so we've had our discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 2.2, approval of minutes, Glades County School Board regular meeting, September 4, 2025 at 6 P.M. Motion by Ms. Clement,
Second.
second by Mr. Lucky. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, our favorite part of the meeting is next. It's called Section 3, Recognition. Today we're honoring FSA Assessment Perfect Score Certificates. Dr. Barfield?
Okay, well, thank you, Chairman Drake, I appreciate that. I am really pleased, this is like one of my favorite, board meetings because it's such an honor to get to acknowledge academic excellence. And it just doesn't take, a student doesn't wake up and then become a perfect scorer. This takes years and home, it takes foundation, it takes a lot of work, it takes parents, doing what they do best, and that's making sure that their students keep what's important. And so I want to congratulate all the students that are here today and let you know how proud we are of you, because this is your time, this is your day of excellence, so congratulations. And I'm actually going to do Moorhaven Middle High School. If Stella Hendry and Braxton Davis could come forward. Are they here? Okay. Come on here. Yep. All right, Miss Stella, come over in the middle. So Stella, this is a certificate award to Stella Hendry for grade 6 fast ELA reading assessment. She had a perfect score. Let's see, Mr. Begon, can you see it? Yes. And you wanna stand over there and we'll get a group picture. Okay, and I'm going to have Ms. Wills come up and present Westglades.
Morning. I have a bunch of really talented gentlemen at my school, some of them with multiple perfect scores. The first one is Mr. Parker Dillman. You see him every year, but this year it's for civics. And this student is new to Westglades, but Henry Gonzalez made a perfect score on 7th grade fast math assessment. I'm gonna have to rally up the girls, these are all boys. And Tyson Calloway had a 5th grade science perfect score. And Gael Moreno, he hit a double. Woo! Come on, Gael. He has a perfect score in the 5th grade ELA reading test. And science test. And he was really ticked off about the math. But he did make 3 5s. But he was super upset. And then I also have another double, and he is not here, and I will award this to him and send you guys pictures. But that's Aaron Short. He made a perfect score on the 5th grade math fast and the science.
Mr. Thomas, Moorhaven Elementary.
Good morning. Well, this young man, he scored perfect on his fifth grade science test. But beyond that, he was a big point in us achieving, working with his friends all the time in the cafeteria. Sawyer Hunter Law.
Hello, everybody. I'm presenting for our Blaze County Virtual School, and this is a first for us to have perfect scores. Is Jamindia Fudge here?
Yes, ma'am.
So Jamindia has a perfect score on her U.S. History EOC. And she couldn't be here this morning. She couldn't be here this morning, but Miss Kimura Jumper has a perfect score on her U.S. History EOC as well. Miss Michelle, do you want to accept for her? Or I'll get you.
Without photos?
Yes.
You guys center. Parker, get them, just hold on.
When she's in on the front. Can you stand up behind her?
Yeah.
Yes.
Trying to get
Good job.
Good job.
And I just wanna say this before, I know all the kids leave and parents leave. You know, we, so often society, you know, really goes all out about sports and, we, you know, national champions and state champions, and that's all important too. But to me, this is even more, something more that we need to celebrate in society, and that's our youth making great strides in their academics. These are your future superintendents of schools, attorneys, whatever you wanna be, you can be. And we just want you to know that we hope that we can give you whatever you need in our school district, to use it as a springboard into your future careers or whatever you choose to do. If it's college, if it's going into the technical field, if it's going into the armed forces, we are here to support you, and we just appreciate each one of you. So thank you so much, parents. Once again, thank you for supporting them and for supporting us.
I just want to impress upon parents and people who are not in school testing how stressful testing can be for students. And I know students strive for a 5 on an assessment, or they strive for straight A's or whatever. But when you have a perfect score, you've answered every single question on that test and not missed a single one. That is something to celebrate. So kudos to parents for supporting the kids and for the kids working really hard. We love you and we're proud of you.
Anyone else? Congratulations.
We all say amen and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys did work. All right, we're gonna move on to my second favorite part of every school board meeting, item 4.1, our update on the elementary school.
I have mine hooked up, but I don't
see back there, so I can sit in the car.
You can help me what's up?
Yes.
I can't get it fit,
Oh, she's got it, okay.
but if you can get it fixed, no, I
Get the,
there's Amber maybe. It's ready to roll, it just needs to, like, open and start it, see? It'll start.
There you go, there you go.
There it is, okay.
Amber, look at it.
Amber,
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 baby.
let us know when you wanna come back home. You too, Crystal.
I'm feeling all kind of left out right now.
Hey, and don't forget Wendy was back.
Yeah. Wendy, you too.
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
All good news today, so it's, moving along quite well over there. Mike Riley has some family issues, so he's back at, his place right now, but, he sent me to come and present and tell you where we're at. If you go over there, you'll see we put the asphalt down. Now, we do asphalt in 2 lifts, so first lift's gonna get all chewed up by the workers but we needed to have a base to work from, so they will come in at the very end and put 1 more lift, and then we'll put all the striping and everything in. So that's, sometimes curious people who don't normally see how we do things. The brick is pretty well finished now, we're still buttoning up some of the cosmetic stuff. Inside, it really looks good, things are coming together there, we've got, the acoustical ceiling grid is going in, so they're putting in the lights and all the grills for the HVAC. Floors are going down on the inside, a lot of the painting work is complete. They've just got a few little things left to do with drywall, but it's not what we call critical path item. So things are moving, towards conclusion pretty quickly here. Today is the 18th of September, so 60 days from now, we'll be what we call substantially complete. That means we're getting all the final inspections and things like that, and then we'll start working together with Brian and his team on putting in all of the furniture, fixtures, equipment, all that kind of thing, and getting all of our stuff buttoned up. And then on December 18th, I think that's our grand opening, so it should look like a completed school and ready for business. So, it's coming pretty fast here. For 3 more months, it's gonna be ready for business. So, let me see if there's anything on the list here that, we've got our storefront material for the front entries coming in next week. Playground equipment will start in 2 weeks. A lot of the sidewalks, they're about 50% complete now. So next month, they're gonna put up the canopies, and those will finish right at the very end. Those are one of the last things to go in, the canopies that go around the campus. So that's gonna be coming pretty quickly here. That'll be a rush to get it done, but we'll get it done. I think that's it. Oh, air conditioning, we're starting up air conditioning now too, so the building will get cooler and cooler, which everybody appreciates who's working inside, so. And I've got drone footage, so I can show you that. Oh, sorry. I don't know if we need the music.
I don't know,
That's nice.
It's okay.
It's nice.
Well, I will tell you that Mike Riley gets excited about very few things, but he gets excited about asphalt. It's like Christmas to him, so it's Black Christmas, so he's just very excited when the asphalt goes down. It's just changing a lot of things.
It's really nice.
And then here you can see they started the gray herringbone on the brick, so there's gonna be gray accents on certain parts of the building. And I think that's gonna look very, very nice.
They couldn't finish this part of the asphalt yet because the trailers there, but this is actually where the parents will come in. Oh, the car,
Yeah,
the
car line.
car line. Buses will come in on the south side, down here.
Amazing.
I have friendly competitors, I tell them that we're 14 months in on this project, they don't believe me. We're at this point already, a lot of times it takes a lot longer to get schools done, but this team, you all included, have made it very easy for us to be successful here, we appreciate it.
That's beautiful.
This is the retention area, they're still moving dirt around over here, so they're gonna dig that out more, so that, hopefully it's not wet very often, but right now it's gonna hold a lot of water because we don't have everything done yet. How believe this play court is gonna be really nice. I think you said you wished it was bigger, but I think it's gonna be really great for everybody.
Just an addition that we've done too, we looked at, right now there's sidewalk across the front of the school, but it leads nowhere, the sidewalk just ends. And so we were concerned about our walkers, especially coming from the east side, that would be coming to the school, and how they would get to the school, or our students who are coming from across the street, across 27th, Washington Park area, any of those kids that walk. And so we had looked at extending the sidewalk and going all the way up, like in front of Ahern's, but because of traffic concerns going in and out of there, we decided not to do that. We looked at going up to, I don't know what avenue that is, but in between the Chattanooga grounds and there's a road right there, yeah.
The post
We looked at,
office.
by the post office, right. We looked at actually going that way and then putting a sidewalk, and see if we could put a sidewalk there. We were concerned about students walking across the street when parents are bringing kids in. So what we decided upon is, actually, we're gonna extend the sidewalk that's right here in front of the district office, that'll go in front of the bus depot, and then it will actually turn to the right and go into the school where the buses go in. There'll be we're gonna put a sidewalk down the side near that wall, so that any students that are walking from that section can safely walk to the school for that way. And, you know, at first we said, you know, we could do something up front, but we know from past precedents that students, they're gonna sneak in to where the gates are and they're gonna try and walk in there. So we want to give them a safe way to actually come into the school. So that's an addition that we just added on recently.
Just watching the traffic on West Avenue, it's just safer to have the kids come in off 10th Street and through the back than coming down west. It's tight with the canal there on the side and everything.
Great decision.
So, yeah, I mean, so.
Does anyone have any questions, comments?
I'm so excited.
And carpet tiles are coming tomorrow.
Yeah, flooring's, there's supposed to be a delivery of pallets of flooring today and tomorrow,
Yeah, 40 of them.
40 pallets of material.
So they'll start putting floors into the classrooms next week.
So is the sewer issue moving along in a positive direction and
Haven't heard anything recently with it.
Okay.
Haven't had any meetings.
It's basically not your problem. So, you being the district, it's, you know, it's, the county should be, you know, dealing with that, not you all. 'Cause if anything, you're putting less strain on the system than you were before, because everything now is low flow, there's no stormwater going into the system, it's all, you know, much more cleaner and efficient, so if anything, you're gonna put less onto the system than you were before, because of all the upgrades.
Wonderful.
So, yeah, this is an exciting time, it's gonna go quick, and we still have a lot of work to do, but,
Yeah, a lot of work.
the dominoes are set to fall the right way, so.
you've done an amazing job.
Well, actually, I really don't do anything, it's just, we have a lot of very smart, hardworking people, and you just get them together and make sure they have what they need. And Brian and Dr. Barfield, they've been awesome to work with. I mean, it's just, you know, when we go on to other school jobs, we're gonna compare who we work with to Brian, and it's not gonna fare well.
Yeah, we got a big meeting this afternoon, we have a construction meeting at 11, we have a big meeting at 3:30 today too, because we're talking about all our low voltage stuff, which is how everything hooks into the cameras and the lockdown system, and making sure that everything talks to each other. Because they pulled some wiring through there, but we're not at the end point yet, so we want to bring really the contractor, the subcontractor, NCD, who really helps take care of all our safety needs, you know, as far as cameras, lockdowns, and swipe access. And then our IT people are gonna be there as well, so they're all together, so that everything works together. I mean, even something like, you know, think about all the phones, well, the phones have to have an IP to connect to the lockdown system so that it goes to those intercoms as well, so,
So have we done hardwire versus Wi-Fi?
yes.
That's wonderful, because we don't have the best Wi-Fi.
That's true, yeah. Actually, we had originally had a Wi-Fi system going from the district office to the bus garage, but we're gonna hardwire that as well. And we're in the process of, or the planning stages for renovation of the other two buildings that were on the south side of the elementary school, the Ritchie building and the, I don't know what you call that one, it's a pre-K building right now, but I think it's something else, but those plans are coming along. We need to get going with those because of lead times with AC, things like that.
We got information on that, so we'll go over that today in our meeting. And, once we get the kids over there, then we'll come back and do the work we gotta do over here, which is demolishing some of this campus and then also improving it for administration. So we're working through all that planning right now, so.
Yeah, in the demolition, there's gonna be a lot of discussion there too as to what we're going to say, what we're gonna try and sell, what we're just gonna trash.
I just want to break.
Let me break, and we're gonna save some bricks, 'cause we're actually gonna sell bricks to put around the flagpole.
So you're gonna use the old bricks from the old school
Yes, ma'am.
at the new school, I love that.
That's
That's
great.
great. Good idea.
Thank you all very much. Thank you. To everybody if she wants. Is that okay?
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, if you might be wrote for Carla, I sent it to Carla, so she's got it, so you all can take it and have it. So,
Thank you.
thank you very much.
Alright, thank you again. We'll move to item 5.1, Henrietta Imahaka Charter School presentation. And that will be Ms. Tracy Downing, principal.
Good morning, we don't get to see you very often.
Thank you so much for having me come here today. It's always a privilege to come and socialize with our friends in Glades County. One of the things that I'm gonna talk about a little bit is our partnership because we so appreciate that. But Michelle and I came, Michelle Thomas is one of our administrators at the school. And we enjoyed coming here and collaborating with you and talking a little bit about our school and our partnership. So I wanted to share a little bit about our journey, where we've been and where we're going from here. So, but our story is one of growth and collaboration. It's a relentless commitment to excellence, and it's something that's rooted in the Seminole Tribe of Florida traditions and history and culture and language, and it's strengthened by the support from our partners. And so we feel as though the Glades County School District is a very important partnership. So where we started, we were founded almost 20 years ago, and Michelle's been there since the very beginning of our school journey. But the school was founded with the idea that we wanted to preserve the Seminole traditions and history and culture and language. And so there was a vision there, and our vision is successful learners today, unconquered leaders tomorrow. So it's a very important vision that our students and our staff live by each and every day. We are thankful to the Glades County School District and Charter School Associates for helping us with that vision. You know, you provide for us support, resources, accountability. The tribal council provides for us the vision and the cultural foundation. And of course, our students, they're the ones who truly benefit from what we do at our school each and every day because they know who they are and what they stand for, and they celebrate their culture. And having been in the Okeechobee County School District for 23 years before I came here, I know that that school and what is provided for them has made a huge impact in their lives. They are well aware of what their culture says about them and who they are, and I think that that's why they excel. So back to our partnership with Glades County. So we are very proud of the relationship that we have. I believe that the relationship between this charter school and the Glades County School District should set a standard for the entire state, because I heard, and I don't know this to be true because I don't experience it, but I heard that there are some districts who don't like charter schools. But we don't experience that, we have a
The majority of them.
I know, I don't know why.
The funding.
Yeah. I don't know why we don't experience that. We feel as though we have an excellent relationship with Glades County. So we're proud to be sponsored by the Glades County School District.
Well, we brag about you just as if, you're ours, so.
Oh, we are.
We are.
I know, that's what I'm saying, we don't walk out.
I mean, so much so that before you ever even, it was just an idea, Andrew Bowers and myself, years before you built the school, talked about it, and I said absolutely, because it would keep, they were worried about the culture and also keeping the kids in school. And then with the money that came with the casino, they were afraid everybody was just gonna not finish their education.
It's still.
So we talked a lot about it, and I told them that we would support any way we could. And we have a wonderful, wonderful relationship.
And you do,
I'm very
you do
happy.
support us. And Brian and Michelle can talk to you a little bit about the history. Prior to the school coming, the students were able to celebrate their culture and their history one day a week. And so because they wanted more time with the students in the language, then that was why they built that school. So,
Originally Phoebe.
yeah.
That, there was a big falling out there because she thought that she could support the school and sponsor it.
Yeah.
And it had to be sponsored by the county we were in. So, yeah, that was her roundabout.
Yeah.
But I'm so proud that you're here.
Yeah, we are too. We love Glades County. We appreciate the support that we get from Dr. Barfield. She calls us on the phone, she keeps us very well informed of things that are going on. She's always there to say, hey, what do you guys need? So we're very, very happy that you have supported us in the way that you have.
Sorry for the late night text.
Sorry?
Sorry for the late night text.
Well, hey, anytime. That's what a true partnership is. So there's a lot of commitment there. You're always thinking about us and keeping us informed. And we feel the same way about the leadership within our board. The things that you've said, we feel the same way. You guys are champions for us. You support us, you communicate to others about the innovation that's going on, and you really celebrate the cultural initiative that we have going on over there. So thank you so much for that. So here's where we are. We do excel academically, and that goes way back to Russ Brown's day. The school has a history of performing well, and we think that is because the kids are dedicated, they're hard workers, they really care about their education, and that's a tribute to their families and their teachers and everybody who works at the school. We all have the same mission. And so for many years now, we have been rated an A school. We are a school of excellence, and for the first time ever, we've been given the distinction of what's called a high-impact charter school. And so that is a huge distinction, and there are a lot of things that go along with that. One is that we pay you less money to sponsor us, which is a benefit to us and maybe not to you, but the administrative fee that we pay the district now went from 5% to 2%, so more of that money gets to stay there in the school, so that's just one advantage. And along with some of our schools in Glades, when you compare some of our schools and our school to the other 42 schools in the consortium, our schools are performing at the top. So that's a tribute to the leadership and to the kids. And then, of course, when you look at all 3,500 schools in Florida, our school as a combination school is in the top 6%, which is a huge accomplishment for our kids. So this year, our performance data, overall school grade of an A, we earned 70% of the total possible points. Math proficiency, I'll give you the highlights and then I'll talk a little bit about where we want to improve. So math proficiency is at 87%, which is a major strength, and 59% learning gains. So even though the proficiency is high, we're still showing the learning gains, because sometimes when you have high proficiency, it's hard to get the learning gains. So that's a strength. And then 61% learning gains among the bottom quartile, which is huge. So that shows that our teachers and our parents are supporting all learners, not just the ones that are at the top. ELA proficiency was at 72%, very strong, 50% overall learning gains and 51% learning gains in the bottom quartile. Science proficiency was at 67%, and civics proficiency was at 95%. So the strengths are high math proficiency, outstanding civics results, and strong gains for struggling math learners. And the opportunities that I see, we want to increase our ELA growth rates. I'd like to see a little bit more growth for the lowest learners. And I wanna raise the science proficiency just a little bit more, so we're focusing on those areas. So we want to enhance inquiry-based learning and lab experiences, so we're really kind of dipping into some STEM and some STEAM, because we're trying to get our students involved in more art. You know, we go over to the museum, we enter into a couple of art contests throughout the year, the Native American art contest and also the Hispanic Heritage art contest. So we're focusing a little bit on art, STEAM and STEM. And of course, as always, our top goal is to preserve the culture and the heritage and the traditions of the Seminole Tribe of Florida, because we want to make sure that that's always our focus. That's why the school was founded. And we do that alongside ensuring that the students are learning. So we feel as though we are more than just a school. You know, we are a partnership with families and with our community, with Glades County. We thank Charter School Associates for their support, and we work with a number of other tribal departments. So we're deeply committed to what we're doing and where we're going, and we just want to thank you again for all your support. And I told Michelle, I said, Michelle, why don't you talk a little bit about stuff?
Mind you, I just got invited to come to this meeting like 5 minutes before she was leaving. She's like, ride with me, I need to talk to you about an issue. So I said, okay, and now she's like, would you like to speak? I'm like, no, you got this, thank you. I'm never gonna agree to go with you again.
Well, I appreciate what you've done with my grandchildren.
Oh, yeah.
But Michelle, you have it all right.
Oh,
here,
she
girl.
sure does.
This school has been my heart for many years, and it has been a blessing to watch it thrive and excel and grow over the 19 years that we've been there. And what a blessing it has been to our community. I mean, to see our kids thrive and to go on to the high schools, local high schools, and do well. It's definitely the best way that gaming money can be spent is to invest back into your students and to your youth. And I thank the tribal council every day for investing in us, because every time we come to them that we need to grow, they've never turned us down. We need a new bus, they've never turned us down, and they continue to invest because they know that this is the best investment for us as a tribe. So we're very blessed. And we thank you for your partnership.
Yeah, and we actually love it when our kids choose to come over to Glades County.
Yes, so we promote Glades highly because we love the ESE program over here, we love the smaller environment. It's an easier transition from what we have them in to Glades. So yeah, we promote you, and I talked to Dr. Barfield yesterday, and we had a student that was coming, a high school student, and so I did a little research, and I said, Dr. Barfield, your Glades County tribal students are recruiting this young lady to move from Okeechobee to Glades. They're telling her, come, you'll get the help you need, there's more support here. I said, so that's why you're getting this high school student. So even our students are recruiting for us, so that tells you a lot.
enrollment program too.
Yes.
That's all highlighted. Tracy, hold on just a second, I have a couple questions for you.
Oh, yes.
So what's next for Pay Diego? What's the future hold for the school?
Well, we're expanding, we have 340 students, 337 students, which is the highest ever. We're building a 3-story building to accommodate 2 new housing developments. So we're in Flowing Well, which is a small little residential area, phase 1, it's done. And our enrollment went up about by 40-ish. And so Flowing Well 2 and Flowing Well 3 are being built. And so as people come into the community, our enrollment will continue to grow. So we're breaking ground on a 3-story building in 28. And we're gonna move our 6th, 7th, and 8th grade students into the new building and kind of spread out a little bit on the other side. And just a heads up, we'll be hiring an additional teacher in each grade level going from 3 to 4. Because we're getting pretty big. We've got about 13, 14 students in each class. So we got it.
You just have to rub that in.
I know. So, oh my God, I have 15. I'm like, what did you have? Where you came from? 20, 25. Okay, it'll be all right. But I think what your real question is, will we expand to high school? And that is not currently on the table.
And
That
I think
is
that's
not-
in your best interest.
Yeah, that's not currently even up for discussion right now.
To eighth grade.
Yeah. We did have a discussion with tribal council regarding that, and we had some that are do not represent our community, but staunchly opposed to us expanding through high school because they felt like our kids needed to get off the reservation eventually and be more mainstream. But our councilman was for it, but we had, through a few conversations, he's like, let's just hold tight where we're at. So there's currently no conversations about expanding to high school.
If you didn't have a choice between Okeechobee, I would say,
We have good choices.
I would say do it.
Yeah,
But being that you still have this small,
yeah.
I think it's perfect.
So no current conversations regarding expanding to high school.
So this past week I was out in Phoenix and I was doing a presentation and I was going over my slides and so I had a couple of, during our conference, there was another conference going on for the indigenous, I'm saying wrong, tribal members and their education departments came in and so they wanted to hear about, about our presentation and they asked a lot of questions. So I've got some names and some numbers and some questions specifically for you all. I'll email you or call you. But one of the questions they talked about, and they're having a really big debate on their tribal education department, is about AI and about how you're going to be addressing that school-wide. Is there any plans at Payetta? Are you going to be addressing that? Like, is there?
Well, we actually sent Quentin Pritchard, our civics teacher, to a conference, and it was all about AI, and he brought back a lot of really good information for us. We do use AI, our students use AI a little bit, I use AI. So we do use it. We're able to determine if a child uses it to cheat, or if they're plagiarizing things, there's a way to figure that out. So are you talking about something specifically, or do you?
No, I just think the question is, are you gonna add it into your curriculum?
I think that's more of a high school curriculum that would be added into, maybe necessarily not middle school, or you guys see it on the middle school level?
No,
I think you guys have
I mean,
said
for
it for the eighth
curriculum,
graders.
as far as curriculum.
I don't know, from the people that I spoke with, because after I left my session, then I went and spoke to several different superintendents. They're starting it as early as elementary school, and it's something that I really haven't thought about until I was presented with a question. I'm like, oh my gosh, is it something I should be doing or didn't think about?
So I wonder, what are they starting? They're starting AI, but what does that exactly mean?
Well, I think that there's different possibilities. I think there is the, obviously the AI writing something out for you, that's everyone's doing, that's not any cutting edge. But I think it's more of like doing the graphics, doing the production side of it, the research side of doing in presentations. They're going more into even in the STEM areas, talking more about like in science and how to utilize the AI. I know that recently this Department of Education Florida Department of Education also spoke about, or wanting us to utilize it more. So I need to
Here's the way
research.
that we have utilized it, so you know that the writing portion of the assessment,
Right.
half of it is AI, the score is generated by AI.
Correct.
So we found some anomalies because we've got our writing back, and we're looking at the writing and we're like, how is that? How did that get scored like that? Because it doesn't seem to be accurate.
Right.
So what we've started doing is we're taking our writing and inputting it into AI with a copy of the rubric to have it score it, so that we can then look to see what is it that you're seeing. We're asking it questions like, why did you score this in this way? Why did you give this a level 4 or a level 5, even though, and so we're asking it questions like that to kind of give us some insight, because we noticed that we felt as though our writing, did you guys see that here? like our writing, we did not feel like our writing was scored accurately. So
And I
that's how
think
we
too,
used it.
the other thing they were talking about, and so after my session, I had these questions asked, and I felt like I was totally, I mean, you're up there, you're a presenter, and I wanted to, be the person in the room, but I mean, I really, at that time, when they were asking me, I'm like, oh my gosh, AI is not something I really considered as,
Oh, it's gonna.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
going to be huge, but they talked about, so from there, I went to some other presentations because I wanted to hear some, different topics that interest me. And one was about how AI is going to affect our ESE world. And they were talking about the IEPs and how many districts across the district or country are utilizing these IEP goals, and they're generated through AI. So in this conference, so what they do is they give you, like, you get a schedule, and they have scheduled you with different vendors. And that's how they pay for your trip, because they pay for my flight and my hotel. But it's done because they get these vendors to come in, and then they make appointments for you, and you have to fill out like a card or whatever, your interest or whatever. But anyway, so I go to this one vendor, and she was talking about AI, and that wasn't the only topic, and she goes, well, let's pull up Glades County. I go, oh, I can promise you're not gonna see any Glades County. And she goes, well, let's just see. So she goes in, and she goes, oh, you have, and she showed me how many people in Glades County schools were using this program, and their usage, and what they're using it for. And I was blown away, and it's very crazy because some of the teachers that are some of the most highly effective teachers are using this. So it's
Well,
very
I used
interesting,
it.
and I will be sharing with the principals individually, like some of the things that I'm learning, because I know next week I have my fads, and that's, that's on the agenda, so hopefully.
Well, I do use it a lot, and one of the ways I used it was we presented to tribal council about the possibility of going to a 4-day week. And so we gave them a heads up, and so I used AI, I said, Superintendent Glades
Pros
County,
and cons.
what are the pros and cons, how should we, and so it spit out everything, and that's what I use to present, but I do use it a lot. I have a student who's not excelling, here's the exceptionality, what other strategies could we try, this is what we
It's
tried.
amazing.
It is amazing, but they know everything about me, because I've been using AI for probably
It discerns your personality.
yes,
Yes.
and now, let me tell you one funny thing about AI. So they know everything about me, and I don't even have to tell them, because they have a history, and even though you clear the history, they still have the history, just FYI.
Yeah.
So they know exactly who I am and who I'm talking to, who my audience is, and so they'll spit something out, and it even has a tone like I would have.
Yeah.
Well, here's one thing that happened recently, and I was like, oh gosh, this is kind of scary. I was talking to it, and it's giving me some stuff, and then I said, well, what about this? And AI said to me, I appreciate the fact that you truly care about your students. And for a second, I had this flash of warmth, like, oh, they like me. They appreciate what I'm doing for my students. And then I was like, this is a computer. And I have had an emotional reaction to what this computer has said to me. And then almost right after that, they were advertising this fuzzy little panda bear that's AI, and you can give it to your child, and the child will talk to it, and then this information will go to the cloud, and it will respond to the kid. And I was like, I would never get my kid that, because they will create a footprint. So then I was very nervous about it, but I did get that little fuzzy feeling like, oh, they can tell I'm genuine and I care. And then so that's a scary thing about it.
And I think that was the conversation in the session. That wasn't her presentation, but then I opened it up for comments or questions, and it started kind of because one of the ladies that brought it up, and they were talking about privacy and about that digital footprint and how kind of what you said, that it's like our phones. How does our phones know when you're talking about something, all of a sudden it shows up?
on your feed, yeah.
So I just wonder, the final thing I wanna say, Tracy, is that, we have, as a superintendent, I wasn't blessed like several people in this room to have worked at Payneetta. No names, because we already called them out, but you know, as a superintendent, I've got to see Paynetta through a different lens. I've got to see how it's run operationally, how, it's done. I mean, it's such a pleasure to, when I send an email out, you know, requesting information, and my principals, just my directors will tell you, if I'm asking for a question, or if I'm needing something and I send it out, nothing is more frustrating than not hearing from somebody. You are always the first. It's almost like a race. I can almost, when I see yours come in, I'm like, okay, let's see who's next. You are always very quick to respond. You always answer, and not saying that every answer that, you know, there's been times when you just, we're doing this, and, you know, you have been so matter-of-factly on so many things, and your professionalism, when it comes to, you know, the school, speaking about the school, speaking about your students is truly amazing, and it's impeccable. We do have a lot of students at high school. Now I'm stepping down, I'll be the high school principal for a little bit. The high school principal states that, that when we have students, they all have such fun, there's a fondness for Paynetta. And I think that it goes back to what you and Michelle were talking about, is that just that unity of those students, and there's like it's like a family, and I know that I don't say throw it around, but the word unconquered. You know, when we go out to different places and we do talk about Glades County, Paynetta it always comes up. People wanna know about it. They wanna know, what are they doing out there that's so amazing? How do they do this? And so I think that your school has really overcome some major obstacles. And everybody thinks that you just have the highest of the high kids out there, but they don't know the other side of it. They don't know, you know, they don't know the issues that you have to deal with. And so I applaud you, I applaud your school. And in 2028, look for a resume, just saying. So,
Well, we're so thankful for you. We have a good group of kids, awesome people who work there like Michelle. You know, Michelle and the other tribal members who work at the school are uniquely invested. And so when you see people who love kids, like you walk into a room and you can kind of feel, the love from these people, because they're a lot of them are related. Michelle's got a lot of family members at the school, so there's this it's unique because that community feel and that love is there. And so I've worked at a lot of schools where I felt that, but never like this, because it truly is a family. It's a family, they're a tribe. And so there's that extra little piece there that makes it special.
thank you.
I wanted to ask a quick question, if it was okay. Your immersion program, the ones who started, what grade are they in now?
Middle school.
Middle school.
They're
So-
playing middle school sports this year.
Is it working? Are they retaining and considered fluent in the language?
Yes,
Because
it's working.
I saw it when I was there, and I'm just so curious to watch it grow and see.
Yes, and that was after about, 10 years roughly of doing, the current program that we still operate for all of the other students, but seeing that we were creating readers and writers and not speakers, so we divoted and went to the immersion program and definitely are creating speakers that will hopefully save our language. We were down to 20-something fluent speakers in the Muskogee Creek language. For our tribe, there's 2 dialects, and we are the most Muskogee Creek. For the Miccosukee tribe, there's like 200 fluent speakers, but we're down to the last of the last. So this program has been very, very successful for us, and we're very pleased with the results that we're seeing from it. Even though most of their education is in Creek, they only get English and math instruction in English, and it's for a shortened period of time. When they were in 3rd grade, they were tracking above their peers at the school. The peers that were we call it the other side, the other side. Those kids that were in 3rd grade on the other side. So they're still all proficient, you know, and
And I can tell you, Dr. Barfield, that we are having current discussions about how to expand that particular group to take them through high school without losing them, so.
You said Muskogee Creek, what's the other dialect?
Miccosukee.
Miccosukee.
So I have a question about that. So I didn't realize that the kids that you started in the pre-K immersion, you're saying that follows them all the way through 6th grade and their courses are taught in the
Yeah,
native
we
language?
hope for it to follow through high school too.
Okay.
We don't ever want them out of that bubble. When they walk into that immersion building, it is Muskogee Creek all day long,
And they
except for
start
the,
before pre-K, right?
yeah, they started.
So they're taking science in that language?
Yes. And let me
Everything
tell you-
except math and language arts, you said?
Mhm.
And they're on the grade level in English,
They're
language
above,
arts?
yes,
Above.
yes.
They're tracking above their peers and they're all proficient. In 3rd grade, the majority of them were 4s and 5s. There were a couple of 3s.
Okay, they're truly bilingual.
Yes.
So when they get ready to go tonight, okay, I'm certain our district can work with you to keep that going through high school.
We know
somehow,
what
some way.
middle school looks like, you know, we had meetings with Brian, Michelle and I got together with the leadership team and the admin in the culture side. And so we have a plan through middle school. The high school plan, we're gonna have conversations about that because obviously they have to earn credit. So we're a little nervous about how that's gonna work out.
So just kind of listen to that. Could they not get a foreign language credit?
Oh, they already do.
Yeah,
So
our
do they get
7th
it?
and 8th graders.
That was
get
Brian's.
yeah.
Brian went to DOE and got
Look at you,
approval for Greek language. They leave 8th grade with 2 foreign language credits.
So the students that are at the high school, some of them have, that are from PETS.
Oh, they should all have it,
Yeah.
except for now, there are a couple of
Yeah.
kids who we call repeaters, we try to get them their credit, they don't pass the class.
Yeah.
But it's very few of them. But Brian went up to DOE, there's a Creek course code registered with DOE and they earn 2 high school credits before they leave 8th grade. Thanks, Brian.
And so now the kids that have been in immersion, you said they're in 6th, so when they get in 7th, they're gonna enroll in that course,
No, yes.
and they're not only.
Well, they're in Creek from pre-K all the way up, and so when they're in 7th, 8th grade, that's when they're earning the credit, but you're
Right.
2 different programs though.
Right.
That's separate than the immersion program.
And really the immersion is more just fluency, right, speaking. So when they get in 7th grade, they're gonna learn the writing.
They're learning the writing,
They are.
they're learning it simultaneously.
That's amazing. So that class is gonna be
Yeah.
a breeze for them,
Oh, yeah,
like our Spanish kids taking Spanish.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wow, we are truly blessed to have that school and, we are one of the only school districts in the state that has a good working relationship. Because at our conferences, when we go to brag, they look at us like we got 2 heads.
Yeah.
But you guys have been a blessing to this district in multiple ways. And, I can't help but think about athletics too. I mean, the kids you send are so athletic and they're so motivating to the other students that really are a blessing academically and, with sports.
We try to send you good ones.
Yeah, you do.
Girls.
Anyone else have any comments about the charter school? It's amazing. All right, we are blessed. All right, let's move to item 6.1, approve the July 31, 2025 finance report. Have a motion by Ms. Spears. Need a second? Second by Ms. Furlong. Any discussion? Dawn, if you would come up and go over the report with us, please.
Hello, good morning.
Right.
Okay, so you'll notice that in this report that the July expenses are a lot lower than the regular month-to-month expenses, August through June. And that is because July, our teachers aren't quite back yet and those kinds of things. So you notice that you guys received a revised food service monthly report. I just wanted to notate what that was. We have our Excel documents that we keep this in. And in Skyward, in Skyward it's correct, but under the Excel document, when you have one Excel open on one side and you have another Excel document open on the other side, which happened to be the budget that I was working on that day. So you can, if you do not click the screen on the Excel document you're working in, it automatically stays with this screen. So I had typed in, and there's no rhyme or reason for the number, I had typed in that food service had done $10,000 in travel. They had not. That number does not exist. It's not in our accounting program, there's no rhyme or reason for it, so I took out that $10,000 off of this report. So that was the revision. I really didn't have anything else about the monthly financial report.
Okay, I have a question about the, beginning fund balance.
Yes.
We'll start with food services, we're on that. And that's beginning of this fiscal year, that was the food balance.
Yes.
So in our closing out records, can we transfer that back to the general fund? But you've got it included here.
Yeah, I've got it here because the AFR is not complete yet, obviously, so that's why it says here estimated, because nothing is final right now.
But we're gonna need that much to make the food service balance out.
Yes, that's what we put for to make
Right,
it.
I just want the board to notice that we're taking $45,671 from general fund.
No, not from general fund, that is their beginning balance from last year. It was food services ending balance last year,
Okay,
so this is their food service beginning fund balance.
okay, so they could. Remember, that's fine, remember, we loaned them a lot of money. So they could pay us back out of food service to the general fund, but they can't, because they need it to operate food service. So I just want the board to understand and be aware that, I'm so sorry. I've got my phone on silent, but. All right, so then when we look at, same question, Dawn, when I look at the general fund, fund balance, where is that coming from?
That is so we have all the entries in that we possibly could get in, but it's not the audited fund balance. So that's what we put in the report, so that comes from what was put in the budget, and that comes from what our financial records are showing, but it's not audited yet. So that's why it goes in here.
Is that what's going in the AFR as our end of year balance?
If everything balances out right, because there were a lot of adjustment entries, that's why the AFR is not filed yet. There were a lot of adjustments that the auditor suggested that needed to be made, and the former person did not make those entries. So all those have to be backed up and done, and then we'll have our exact amount.
All right, now I'm gonna ask one more time, the 600,000 at the bottom, the LCIF transfer, can you explain that to me one more time?
Yes, okay, so those are expenses that pay back the general fund, maintenance, insurance, operational, any capital expenses, things like that. You can pay back the general fund because generally speaking, the general fund does front those things as well, because capital can't cover everything. So we can go in and look and say, okay, well, the general fund did at least $600,000 worth of capital expenses, so that pays it back. Like when we make that entry, we actually have to show the auditors payroll records, we have to show them what capital expenses we're reimbursing ourselves for.
And you're estimating that it's gonna be approximately $600,000?
Yes.
Okay, 'cause you know, I've asked them, told
Yes,
them,
uh-huh.
how do you see this total 600,000 even, that doesn't make sense.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so capital outlay, where it says state, the 23 million, is that all special facilities money?
Yes.
And it looks, oh, I see, you've got special facilities written right there, sorry.
It's okay.
So for special facilities going out is the same exact amount has came in, okay? That makes sense.
I'm gonna interrupt you for 1 second before Tracy gets too far. Is that your purse?
It's a paper, it's a piece of paper that.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
It looks just like a pocketbook from up here.
It's Westlake's.
Okay.
I just did that yesterday actually with my phone.
So well, I'm good.
I'm sorry, Chris.
That's all right. Does anybody else have any questions about the
I
finance
just want to
report?
go back to something that Ms. Drake asked about. On the general fund, the first page of our report, general fund revenue. You've got beginning fund balance, estimated beginning fund balance, $581,204.12.
Yes.
You're estimating that we had that much money left over from last year that we didn't spend.
Yes.
So how does that affect our ending fund balance percentage?
That is, okay, so that right there, for this year or for the end of last year?
I'm talking about June 30th, 2025.
Okay, so as of June 30th, 2025, that's gonna put us at, because I had taken it, it's on the end of the June, there's very little adjustment, so I believe it was I don't wanna say verbatim, it was a little, right at 2%. We're still below that 3% threshold.
Right, but when we, assuming everything is finished, I know that word estimated is there, but I'm trying to wrap my head around this. When everything is closed out, finished, done, June 30th, 2025, you're estimating there was a balance of $581,000 left that we did not spend,
Right.
that we're carrying over into this year.
Uh-huh.
And you're saying that that figure is approximately 2% of our total budget.
Well, you've got the restricted and the unrestricted. So the unrestricted portion, which is what the state looks at, is what's gonna be a little below 3%.
Because it's a higher amount than what you're projecting for the end of this year, dollar amount.
Right.
And where you say projected fund balance on this report, can you break out for us what's restricted and unrestricted?
Yes, I plan on doing that. What I was waiting was for the final for the AFR to be complete, so I can put the actual restricted and unrestricted.
Okay, because that's really what is important to us, is
Very
the
important.
unrestricted.
And when do we think that AFR is gonna be finished and submitted?
I talked to Scott yesterday, I talked to him 3 times yesterday afternoon. He was going back and forth with our auditors that we had last year, because of those adjustments not being made, he needed their records to show because we have to match that state audited fund balance. So he was going back and forth with them, he said it shouldn't take him too much longer, because he's trying to, that beginning fund balance with those adjustments not being made. So the auditor said that this is what your balance was, these are the adjustments you need to make. And she didn't put those entries in there. So our beginning fund balance needs to match what their unending fund balance said.
So our audit amount is what you think is gonna be our beginning fund balance? That's not what you projected.
What else did that again?
So our carryover is gonna be what our audited fund balance was?
No, this carryover is what we're projecting for this year, based off the end of 24, or June 25, sorry. So based off the end of June 25, that's what we're projecting.
And our audit was the end of June 24.
Yes, we already accounted for that, so as soon as that audit happened, I went into your financial statements and fixed it. That is, what you see on those financial reports is the audited fund balance. It's just not, it wasn't, there's background adjustment entries that have to be made in the system.
Gotcha. That's good news. That's good. So.
I know it's scary for something else.
Yeah, well, that's
No,
why I
no,
asked,
no.
that's why I was questioning the beginning fund balance. So, we haven't seen the June final financial, correct?
Correct.
So you just went ahead and did July since we're in,
Yep, what you guys saw was the draft June, and then I will get you guys a final June August.
and really you're waiting on Scott to verify your records to our audit information before you can close out last year's books.
Right.
And show us June.
Correct.
Okay, all right. Well, don't forget, we need that.
I'm not gonna do.
But it's pretty much the same as the pre-closing you showed us, right?
Yeah, they're, like, all of our expenses and revenues are in there, they're right. It's just that there's adjustments that have to be made in the background, to the assets, to the liabilities, things like that.
Okay, so my only request would be next time, show us breakout unrestricted and restricted.
Yeah.
All right, anybody else? All right, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you so much, Dawn.
You're welcome.
We appreciate all of your work and all your help that you're giving to Scott.
Thank you.
I'm sorry we couldn't get it done on time, and I hope the state forgives us again, but,
The auditors are aware, I've been in contact with them also, so.
because we're, today's the 18th, we're 8 days late now.
Yeah, and then when I was talking to Scott, he said the good thing is, at least from now on forevermore, it'll be right. Nothing will, there's nobody in there doing things that don't make sense.
As long as you're here, right?
All right, thank you so much. All right, we're gonna move to a public comment. All right, seeing none, we'll move to consent agendas. Anyone need to pull any items from the consent agenda?
The 3 school improvement plans.
You need to pull those from the agenda?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Brief conversation.
All right, we're gonna pull 8.4, 8.5, and 8.6. All right, any others? All right, so I'll ask them for a motion to approve the consent agenda excluding 8.4, 8.5, and 8.6. Have a motion by Ms. Pierce,
Second.
second by Ms. Prolong. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? I didn't hear you, Ms. Clement.
I'm so sorry, I got myself, aye.
Okay. All right, so, motion carries. And now we'll go back to item 8.4, acceptance of the 2025-2026 school improvement plan for Moorhaven Elementary School. So to keep our protocol correct, we need a motion and a second.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Pierce, second by Ms. Clement. Now we're open for discussion. Mr. Lucky.
What is the timeline for school improvement plans regarding like when the state expects it done? And what is expected of us, like approval? Like, I know it's a working document, but things have to be, there, even with it being a working document, it's being brought for our approval at this time.
Correct.
So is that, do we have a timeline that would indicate that it has to be done today or we're late? Or if we have questions, can it be tabled to the next meeting?
We can table, the district, I asked the principal to have it to me before the end of August. It's not due to the state until November 1st. So we're actually really ahead of the game this year. So if you guys need time to review or table anything, you can. But I approved their plans, and then I have to submit that you've approved their plans, and then it's published publicly for the state before November 1st.
Okay, are you seeing exactly what we're seeing on the board documents attachments?
Yes, sir. I'm the one who sent them to Carla, so.
Okay, is there missing information? Because when I looked through them, one had, it just, and I know that we can sometimes have missing information because I've been a principal and sometimes we don't have that data right then, but we like indicate that we're gonna put it in later. But on one of the plans, there was some data I thought would be real important because that's how you build a portion of your school board your school improvement plan. And, it's just not there.
If you would point that out to me, I'll double check it, but in the system, it will not allow them to submit it to the district unless every single box is checked. Now, there are some boxes that are not required, so if you have a blank box, it may be that because they're a CSI school or a TS, because they're of what type of school they're classified as, they do or do not have to fill a certain section out. But it will not let them submit it to me unless every box is filled in. So if something's missing, there should be an explanation. Either it wasn't required, but point it out to me and I will.
Okay, so you're saying that there is some function that will not allow, you won't even send it to us if there's missing information.
They can't even submit it to me if there's missing information.
So whatever is submitted is what is required.
Okay,
They can't, if there's like a box and it says, upload your school safety plan, I'm just saying that. And they don't do it, then when they go to submit it to her, it will not let them. If it's required.
and the type of schools with all those acronyms, acronyms never go away and you just keep adding to them. So here I am Googling constantly because I wanna be informed and I wanna make good decisions. So there were a couple acronyms in there about the types of schools. And then even when I get on the internet, I'm getting a general thing. My concern for this discussion is that I feel like there's a lot of information that we may not understand, and what is my role or our role as a school board? And I think that a lot of times the role is we see this, and I want my peers to help me with this. We see the plan, and it looks good. But we're signing off that we support the plan. That's a huge portion of being a school board member. And there's just a few things that I don't understand, and I've been doing, school improvement plans. I did them for 18 years, and I understood what I was doing. But acronyms have changed, and some of these boxes weren't filled in, and I didn't get a clear picture. And this could be addressed by sitting me down and going over things. But to spend, 6 days reviewing it, I didn't understand specific things, and I was trying very hard.
I think Larry and Patty, I'll open to you next, and then I think Ms. Provolone also will make comments. I think the presentations they previously gave us from each school was a simplified version of their school improvement plan. They identified their strengths, their weaknesses, told us what they were gonna work on, and then they put that in this template. That was my understanding. That's why I didn't dig real deep into these, because I know these are a formality. I think the presentation they gave us before is really what their school improvement plan was based on. We've looked at our data, here's where we're at, this is what we're gonna work on this year.
And I'd like to apologize if I caused some confusion, because
I don't know if anybody calls.
I know, but here's the thing, if y'all remember, 4 years ago, 5 years, however long I've been here, when we had the principals get up and present their school improvement plan, they literally were just reading the stuff that it went, not that it went over the board's head, but it really wasn't information, it wasn't,
It was a lot of data.
it was a lot of data, and it really, what was the practical side of it? For the majority of people that watch our school board meetings, and the majority of people that are here in our school board meetings, it was just like we checked off the box. So I asked the principals, look, when you get up, and this year I did it specifically, I told them, I don't want fluff. I want you to get up and I want you to tell me and you heard, Tracy did it today, and you heard each of the other principals. I said, tell us where your weaknesses are and what your plan for next year is. Because I can read this all day long and I don't get out half of what I get when a principal's just talking to me. Just
Right.
tell me what you're saying, because you're trying to be all technical for the state and do, write the professional writing and all that. So I think, if I kind of probably took us off a bad path, I mean, if that's not the way you want it.
I absolutely appreciate that process, that thing that we do right there when they come. But it was for that reason that I thought I should study. Because, okay, give us the down and dirty, okay, I thought that was good. But then because it was, I don't want to say glossed over, because it was just summarized, that's why I thought, ooh, I better study this. And so, yes,
Last year, we had them do it together. When you got the plans, they spoke on the same day. So this year, we just misaligned when I turned the paperwork in and when Dr. Barfield had them come in and speak. Next year, we will make sure that it's on the same day, so that if you do have specific questions about the plan, they'll be here to answer them.
and another thing, and that my peers may not feel the same way, if we have until like November, it's okay if it's spaced out. That way we can study one or study two and not three, we have 5 days to study 3. And, depending on what's going on in your life, that can be overwhelming at some point. Okay, I just, when the data is there was this one particular thing where we address a problem that age is having, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade. The remedy seems to be, what are we doing about the 7th grade inadequacy? But does the school improvement plan ask for what's happening to the cohort? What happens to that group of students? Does the school improvement plan address the students, the actual students, not just who's gonna be in that grade next year? Okay.
I can't answer off the top of my head.
Huh?
I can't answer that off the top of my head.
Okay. Because I was like, when I'm studying the data, I see that, there's an issue somewhere, and then I'm like, okay, what are we doing? Okay, I've learned a little bit, I'm sorry, we don't get to discuss things together outside of here, and I've always taken this seriously because I remember, as an administrator, the last thing I wanted to do was to spend hours and hours and hours on something that didn't matter. So I always wanted mine to matter. I took the same approach when I studied it. I'm sorry if y'all thought I wasted time, but I needed this discussion and I needed to hear from you guys. Miss Pro, at one time you started to speak, and I always value what you say, so I want to make sure.
Well, and it wasn't that important, I was just scrolling through the school improvement plans, and you were talking about data missing. And so now I'm looking at page 9 of the Moorhaven Elementary School,
What if it's,
and there's a chart, it's
Right.
under early warning signs,
right?
indicators, and then there's a bunch of blanks, like level 1 on statewide ELA, did we have nobody that was level 1 on statewide ELA? Level 1 on math? Number of
Page 9.
student, page 9 of 33.
Okay, so on my page 9, which is the printed version, it says this section was intentionally left blank because it addresses grades.
That's not the right page.
That's my page 2, that's my page 9. What's that number?
Page 7 of 31, how about that? I'm looking at my.
Yes, okay, I'm there.
Okay, so you see that chart with the school enrollment and all those data, but there's no numbers for level 1 on ELA, no numbers for level 1 on math, no students identified with substantial reading deficiency or math deficiency. So, maybe we don't need to fill those in. I would just,
They were on, so I cross-checked that with another school that had the same grades, and there was information there.
She did notate that the data for 24-25 had not been fully submitted in CIMS at the time of printing, and the printing was done on 9/10. So that's possibly some of what hasn't been fully loaded, I'm assuming.
But the format allowed this to go
To go through.
Well,
through.
That's, to me, that's something we need to look at. Do those boxes need to be filled in or not?
Can you give me an example, because I have it from the way it looks in Sims, before. So
Is it
what,
early warning systems? Is that the page
It's
you're on?
called Early Warning Systems.
Okay.
And then the printed, if you have the printed one, it's page 7 of 31.
That's page 9 on my screen.
It's 9 on our screen, but it's 7 of 31 on the printed. And it has the school enrollment, the absentees, the suspensions, the course failure in English and math, but it doesn't tell how many kids were level 1 or who had substantial reading deficiencies.
that should be filled in.
And then underneath that, for the current year, students with 2 or more indicators. Anyway, as you look down those pages, there's some blanks.
Yeah.
That I feel like probably should be filled in.
Those should be filled in, so I'll speak with them about that and get that updated. We definitely don't want to leave that for you, that's correct.
So do we wanna hold off then on approving these until you've had time to really dig into them a little more?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that all right with everybody?
Yes, and I think we go 3 weeks before our next, because I looked at that, because I didn't know what would happen. I think we go 3 weeks till our next meeting, and that would give, I think that would give plenty of time.
Would that date work, Wendy? Okay. And Larry, I wanna go to Patty next though, because Patty wanted to say something as well. Patty? Oh, I'm sorry. So I think the fact that you're taking the school improvement plan seriously is awesome. I mean, that's what we're supposed to do, that's great. And so I just want you to know, I'm impressed that you found this and you're pointing it out to us, and I
Well,
appreciate it.
I'm very concerned about my role.
I know you are, and I
And
appreciate it.
I wish, I don't agree, and I mean, I don't mind saying this to anybody, I don't agree with the interpretation of the Florida Sunshine Law. Because I think that we should have the right to sit down together and look at data and talk about things and use each other's brains.
Yeah.
And because I would have liked to pick up the phone and say, hey, and I don't like feeling that that would be in violation of
Right.
something. I think fact finding is different than I'm trying to get you to take my side.
Right.
There's a world of difference, and I would like to just like call sometimes it's fact finding,
Right.
which y'all do last year when you were presented this information. Okay,
But
so
you're-
that's I
you're-
say that because then you understand how I think.
Yeah.
I didn't want to bring this up, I wanted to
Yeah.
know and understand.
But you are correct, the system reads it as we just don't have any students. We don't have any, they're zeros, and that's why it pushed it through, and
Yeah.
so, good catch. And I'll get on it.
Thank you.
Alright, so back to, who made the motion to accept that? Was that you, Ms. Clement? So, would you like to retract your motion at this point?
Would I retract it or would I table it?
Yeah, let's table it. Great. I'm glad you know parliamentary. We're gonna table it till the next meeting.
Yes.
Perfect. Carla, will that work in board docs? Do you need a second to table a discussion?
Second.
I'll skip down just in case. Second from Patty. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We will be tabling 8.4. Now we're gonna move to 8.5, which is basically the same. So if someone would make a motion, to possibly table that one as well.
Motion.
Motion to table item 8.5 by Ms. Clement, second by Ms. Pierce, to table that till the next meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, item 8.6, do we have a motion?
Motion to table.
Motion to table 8.6 till the next meeting. Do we have a second?
Second.
Larry's, Mr. Lucky is a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Awesome. Thank you, Larry. All right, we'll move to the action agenda, item 9.1. Approval to schedule a school board workshop budget meeting on September 30th, 2025 at 2 p.m. We have a motion to approve.
Move to approve.
Okay, we have a motion by Ms. Prolog, we have a second.
Second.
Second by Ms. Clement, any discussion? September 30th.
It's already on our calendar.
All right. All in favor?
Already got us set.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Awesome, motion carries. All right, we'll move to 9.2, approve the 2025-2026 school safety plan for Moorhaven Elementary, and I see Mr. Gresseth here.
Yeah, the only changes to the 3 safety plans really were changing names, telephone numbers, contacts, all those kinds of things. We really didn't make any additions or subtractions from any of the 3 plans.
Awesome, awesome.
Move to approve.
All right, we have a motion by Ms. Prolog to approve, second by Ms. Pierce, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 9.3, approve the 2025-2026 school safety plan for Moorhaven Middle High School. Do I have a motion? Ms. Pierce made the motion,
Second.
second Mr. Lucky. Any discussion? Same thing, Mr. Gressel?
Yes.
Okay. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 9.4, approve the 2025-2026 school safety plan for West Glade School. Do we have a motion?
I make a move.
Okay, we'll give that one to Mr. Lucky,
Second.
second by Ms. Pierce. Same thing, Mr. Gressel?
Yes.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 9.5, approve the 2025-2026 Glades County School District Reunification Plan. Do we have a motion?
Move to approve.
We have a motion by Ms. Prolog, second by Ms. Pierce. Any discussion? Mr. Gressel?
The reunification plan hasn't changed, it's just we've had some different people who have come and gone, we've had to change the names in that as well, as to what their duties are.
Okay. All right, any other questions or discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Gressel.
Sure thing.
Item 9.6, adoption of revised school board policies, Neola Select, D25, N2, UGG Edgar, special update March 2024, and SB, special update September 2024. Have a motion by Ms. Pierce, we have a second?
Second.
I'm gonna say Ms. Clement was the second on that, any discussion?
Yes,
Okay,
when will we get to see the new version? Like, all this shows was taken out, but is that,
It's in the oil already, isn't it?
no, then it'll be added.
No,
Right, I
it has to
agree.
go to Neola first, and then they update it. And then they'll send us an email that states that it's updated. It usually takes about 3 to 4 months.
It takes a little while.
can we just be notified when it's ready? Because I want to read it without all the lines and greens and purples.
Okay. Any other discussion or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, we didn't have any amended agenda items, so let's get down to general public comments. Seeing none, we'll move to item 12.1, superintendent's report.
I would like to move my comments till the end, please.
All right, we have board member comments, Ms. Provo, I'll start with you this time.
Well, I just want to, recognize Carla for receiving her, FSBA certified board, something, whatever that title was. That's awesome. I did not even know you were working on it. I didn't even know it was a thing. So, yes, congratulations. We appreciate you leaps and bounds.
So yes, and my goal, we're totally certified now. That's wonderful.
Anything else, Ms. Provo?
I don't, well, I could say something positive about volleyball.
Okay.
Dick and I attended the volleyball game last night. That was my first one for this season, and I'm so dumb, I guess. Because the varsity was supposed to start at 7 and we got there right just a few minutes before 7 and I thought, oh, they've already started and we're watching it and I'm wondering why these girls that I thought should be on varsity weren't playing. And we watched for an hour and a half, me thinking it was the varsity, and it was still the JV going on. The varsity didn't start. Crystal came up to me and said something about the JV, and I'm like, what? We need to get those things going a little faster. That was a late night, but the girls won. They are such a good representative of our school, that group of girls. I'm proud of them.
Is Mona still? Yeah, she's good.
Yeah, very fine.
Crystal's two granddaughters play.
I sat there for 5 hours yesterday. I could play myself now. But they are fun to watch.
They are fun to watch, yeah.
And I did see Dr. Barfield there also. For a few minutes.
I didn't see her, so I scolded her this morning and then
She was there,
corrected
I
me.
saw her.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you, Ms. Froment. Mr. Lucky?
I didn't want to take up any more time when the presentation was being done from PD Charter, but we got a discussion on AI. And of course, I'm, doing my own research and stuff, and I just want to say I feel like probably most districts in this nation are behind. We're being reactive rather than proactive because of the speed at which AI is catching on. Because I was late to the table. I heard talk about it like 8-9 months ago, and then I decided it was time to jump on. And in the discussion, I was just kind of wondering if, when we say, do we teach AI or do we use AI in our schools? What does that actually mean? I'm not asking for an answer, but what does that mean? Is there already curriculum out there that will guide things? And when I was onboarding for FSW, I discovered that one of the greatest concerns among professors and adjunct professors is the AI. Of course, their greatest concern being the misuse of it. But the use of it is awesome. And I just think we need to pursue what are the best avenues to use, because the bottom line is making better, productive citizens. That's our goal. So do we need to embrace AI, find out what's going, see what we need to do to make kids better adults? That was it. Second thing was, I would welcome, whatever we want to call it, workshops, meetings, where school board members could learn. We want to know more about the budget, or want to know more about things. It's time, but I have time. I want to learn. I'm a lifelong learner. I just want to mention that instead of like me always trying to gather information at a school board meeting. And I know that Dr. Dr. Barfield has always said, you can come talk to me about anything. But sometimes that's just not feasible. I'm not talking about her or me, but it's just not. For her to give me an in-service, that's not her role. But that's it.
And we do have a workshop scheduled, so.
Okay.
we're ready.
At one time, we discussed having workshops prior to our meetings, but I think we decided that
Well, I'm the green one here. Y'all might feel comfortable about that. We don't need that. But I'm new.
But we've all been new,
Yeah.
so we all
And
understand.
I feel like I'm a growing school board member. I'm learning.
Right where you're supposed to be.
Okay,
You're doing great, don't worry about it, you're doing great.
gotcha.
But I do
And if
think,
you're
But I
not,
have,
and if you're not, we'll stop you.
okay. I mean, and the thing is, I love this job. I do. I feel like it's a culmination of everything I've ever done in education. But I want to do a good job.
Yes,
Yeah.
and we respect that very much, Larry.
but I do think that workshops were beneficial, like I think, to me, the place to discuss the pupil progression plans would be in a workshop.
Yeah.
Not here at the meeting, because then Because my job, and and we've all had this discussion, like stay in your lane. I'm not that person who doesn't want you, obviously I want you to stay in your lane, I need to stay in my lane as well, but I need to know what it is the board, like if there is something that we're not doing or that we're doing and you know a better way, or you look at this and you say, wow, I really think that, looking at the percentage of students that have not made gains, what are we doing? Because this is something I thought of, or that's, as a board member, you could go and research and say, well, I was reading where this one school out and then those discussions are held in the workshop and then the board meeting is just kind of it's
Go ahead and
more-
stamp it.
Right,
Right.
correct. So and I know Ms. Pro, what she was saying was prior, and I don't remember earlier if you were on the board at that point, we had talked about doing a board member prior to, but then,
Board meeting.
yes, a workshop, I'm sorry. But then I think sometimes that if we don't do it enough time, you don't have time to research the information. So it's kind of like there needs to be a good point, because like if you all say, we need to do this, I need time to be able to take it back, talk to principals. It's not just, so, anyway, I will say it again, I've said it every time, you all know I'm available 24/7. I'm available by phone, I'm available by email, and I'm available in my office. Both offices. So,
And we do appreciate that, Dr. Norman. All right, anything else, Mr. Lumpy?
No, ma'am.
Okay, Ms. Pierce, welcome back, Ms. Pierce.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been wonderful. I haven't had to open my mouth to read one time during the meeting. The AI, I never pushed it because until we had hardwired internet down here, there was no sense in starting something that would be aggravating. So I think that we're gonna have a free, easy road to, to infiltrate it.
I'm shocked at the things it can do.
And it'll be in every class, there's
Right.
different ways, so, yeah. I don't have a problem with that, so I'm very pleased with all of the presentations today. And I think we've had a great beginning of a new year and everything's smooth, right?
Oh, that, I want to go back when it's my turn.
Go
I just want to say I made it to every school at least once so far this year. And I love the things I was seeing. One school I didn't get to do a walkthrough, but still, I was present, I was around lots of the kids, lunches. And you get to feel every school has a vibe. And it felt good to be in every school. Things are happening and people seem to be happy to be there, and you can feel that, and the kid student work is displayed. Two teachers called me out in the public and said, "Ooh, we appreciate you coming by," which of course, I appreciated that. But what I'm wanting to say to the board is we're seeing what we're supposed to be seeing. Well, that's just a glimpse, but I mean, positive, what do we call that, mindset? I saw in one school, I saw examples of positive mindset in every single class, and I went through 14 classes that day. Every single class, that's exciting.
Yes.
And see, the teachers are living it. You know, they're living it, they're not just like trying it out, they're living it. And all the standards and the anchor charts and seeing when it doesn't appear to be utilized, when it's not being referred to by the teacher, seeing the kids look up at it. You know, you catch that. Of course, we know a little bit about this stuff because we're educated, but you catch that when you walk through several classes. And to know that things like that are part of what they do every day, not something they're forced to try. And that felt really good to see that.
Yeah.
I wanted to put that.
Because that was just not a formal observation.
No,
You were seeing what
no.
you would want to see
Right.
if you were the principal, that's great.
And the safety issues, like I would hold my ID at the door with the little thing, and the kids would come and they wouldn't let me in until they told the teacher who was at the door, nobody broke protocol. And then, of course, I thanked the kid when I walked in, you know. And, but I was impressed with that, you know.
Awesome.
Go ahead.
Anything else, Ms. Pierce?
Well, no, I'll just say again, as far as the mindset here, I didn't get to go to West Heights and I didn't get to Pimlietta. Of course, I have family at both of them, so I'm able to ask questions, but I actually got to walk the halls. The elementary school just blew me away. I mean, they were, for the first time in, it might be 10 years, teamwork and everybody. You could just feel it. They were so excited, and so ready to go this year. It really made me happy. But there was none of that attitude, that little, you know.
The hallways are an extension of the classrooms.
Yep, everybody was decorating, they were decorating and helping each other decorate, it was
Yeah.
perfect.
And you know, I've been a principal at school where there are no hallways. And those are, and you know, in Florida, there's far more schools that don't have hallways because, you know, we don't have to be protected from the snow and it's cheaper. But when you have schools with hallways, it can be utilized in so many ways, you know, pull out, study with kids, things, and I'm talking about areas where it's legal. You know, it's not a violation, because there's all those mezzanines, it's extra wide, and there's tables out there, and things are working. That was beautiful.
Awesome.
I'm glad now.
All right, anything else, Ms. Pierce?
No.
Okay, Ms. Clement?
I just wanna, say, I'm so thankful for the education that's going on in the classrooms, but our CTE programs that are giving our kids these life lessons, there's some of them that I'm seeing that are just fantastic, and I've had people call me like, they allowed that at your school? That was allowed? I said, well, thank God it was, cause these kids got a life lesson and I'm pretty sure they can use it in real life scenarios to help feed their families. And they're like, we're gonna see if we can do that at our school. So just.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. You weren't on Facebook.
So-
Mr. Sharp's class, that was awesome.
What'd they do?
Oh, the butchering of the pig?
Yeah, so the agriculture class was able to literally butcher feral swine. And, you know, a lot of our kids don't, even right here in Morehead, as mind blowing as it is, our students don't realize where their food comes from. Now, don't get me wrong, there were some in the class that had never been around that and weren't sure what their day was gonna entail because they were grossed out about it, but those kids also were like, oh wow. You know, they were riled and there's a lot of comments made that were exciting and educational. So I just wanna make sure, I want to make sure our educational classes are supported, but our CTE, I mean, there's days that I would not have come to school if it wasn't for my opportunities that I had in those CTE classes, and that's pretty much a lot of it for some of our kids too. I did better in some of my core classes only because I wouldn't have been able to go to an event or participate in something because of, what was available. So, just finding more support for those CTE events and programs is very important. And I don't know what we can do to find some more support for them, but I just wanna look and know that it's a need for them. That's all I have.
Are they gonna cook that hog?
Yes, ma'am.
So that was one of the cool things at Pimienta, they had a day where they taught the boys all how to not only do a hog, but they also did, garfish on the grill. Turtles, I don't remember the turtle, and the girls cooked the meal, they taught the girls how to do all the cooking and stuff, so I think that's really neat that kids do need to know where their food comes from and it's not Publix. So I did want to make a few comments about the AI. I was holding back when everybody was talking about it because there was a teacher in LaBelle and he's a new teacher and he said, yeah, I'm gonna have my first observation, Ms. Drake, coming up. And I said, oh, well, let me give you some tips. And he goes, oh, don't worry, I already did it on AI. So teachers are using AI for lesson plans. That's a very basic, you just type in your benchmark and it'll give you a beautiful lesson plan. You can even tell it the rubric that the principal's gonna be using and they'll tell you how to hit everything in the rubric. But what I've learned about AI is, because I'm using it a lot now too, is that it can be wrong. And so you have to really be careful. For example, we were buying a generator and my husband had heard on the news when the sales tax exemption for hurricane supplies went into effect and there was a date given. We're buying the generator after the date and they charged us tax. So I'm gonna argue with the people, look, it's right here on my ChatGPT, confirming what my husband said. What ChatGPT does, my understanding of it is, it simply searches the internet.
Yeah.
So there was an incorrect newspaper article that this newscast was also following. That was incorrect, they had the date wrong. So the guy, I called the manager, we argued, long story short, because I was mad, because they wouldn't give it to me. So I'm really researching all the way home. And ChatGPT gave me an incorrect date. Because it's only as reliable as the websites it pulls from. And it gives you links to those websites. Well, the website was not Florida Department of Revenue, it was a newspaper where they got the information. So that's what I've learned. It's very useful, it's very helpful, but it is not 100% accurate. So when it gives you those links and you're gonna argue in the store with somebody, make sure you're on the right. But it is growing exponentially, and at the FSBA conference coming up, there are multiple presentations about AI, how to implement AI in your school district. So I was on the phone with Amy about that yesterday, arguing about our hotel situation, and she reminded me of all the beneficial AI things that are gonna be presented and felt that it was important for us to be there.
Who was saying?
Amy is with FSBA, she's the one in charge of the hotel. So I wanted to share with you all that, I called her and argued the point that we have to pay, Ms. Prolog got the conference rate for every night she's there. The rest of us got the conference rate for every night except the last night. So I called to argue that, like, why is that? She said, well, they only reserve 70 rooms, whatever. So she called me back later and said, oh, they're gonna open some new rooms. So if you go on and you get the rooms again, then you can cancel your first room, but because of the chaos we had last time, I really didn't feel comfortable doing that. But if they open new rooms, people that already have a reservation we should be given that final night as one of the open rooms for that night. We shouldn't have to do anything. So the whole experience of the hotel has me really frustrated. She did tell me that their contract with that hotel ends the end of '26, So there'll be 2 more conferences, I guess, there. And then they have a new contract already with another hotel. But her recommendation was that we stay somewhere else for $150 a night and travel back and forth. Another idea is we just go home. We canceled that last night and we tell FSBA, I'm sorry, but we're not paying the $400 a night. And so we're all gonna leave and miss all your Friday stuff.
You know,
I mean, I don't know what else to do. I think
Is
it's
it
ridiculous.
possible that, can you be put on a waiting list or, if they open up new rooms,
They've spent hours already trying to get this room. I hated to even suggest calling back because I knew that Carla and Orpha were frustrated already.
And Amy,
And it's the same result, so, you can just.
Amy
It didn't used to be
challenges
this way.
every
Yeah,
single
it's not FSBA's fault, it's the
It
hotel.
it used to be this
But
way.
there are people who go to that conference just for the last day. And they're taking those rooms.
Yeah.
Because they've already booked that one night, so it filled up that one night. Because there's people who just show up for the last day.
But a lot of them aren't even with the school board, they overlap events, and they're trying to do weddings and everything else, it's a whole other organization, so they're taking away hours to let somebody else come in their first night, it's not fair.
So I think what I'm gonna do is just have Orpha cancel my last day, and I'm gonna just come on home early. But I wanted to let you all know, and so maybe each one of us needs to get with Orpha and tell her what we wanna do with our reservation. Yes?
Well, I know that we talked about wanting to be in the hotel, and I'm also one of those people, but I VRBO'd it, and we literally can get a 6-bedroom home not a few miles from the hotel for like $400 a night. For one, we would be saving a lot of money. Yes, we'd have to drive, but we could carpool. I just think, before we do anything, can you give me today, and I promise you I'll have something, mileage and everything. I just think that.
For spring you're talking about?
Ma'am?
For spring?
Are you talking about December?
No, December I wanna be there.
No, we'll be at the conference. Are you talking, you wanna go to the hotel?
I wanna go there, my husband's gonna be with me and I'm gone after that, you can do whatever you want. But it's just really convenient for me.
Yeah, and I told Amy, I said, we have a member with mobility issues, that's how I worded it. And I
Not so
said
much
it's-
anymore, but still.
Yeah, but still, it is an inconvenience. And Carla mentioned the traffic,
It takes an hour and 15 minutes to get from the west, Hyatt to that one, and it's not even 10 miles.
Carla wants to call.
Okay, I would be worrying about canceling one night in your bunch. Because once you start changing this, and the amount of difference in the money is $1,300. And I know $1,300 is not an astronomical amount of money, but I would really hate for you all not to have your.
I don't want those
I don't want you to
$100
have
to
the
bring the whole
experience
thing
you did
into
last
that's
time.
right.
So we can stay, and everybody stay that last night at the higher rate, and the difference is only
It's
$1,300.
$1,300. However, on that last night, you have to move rooms from, you're gonna be in the same room, the first night, the second night, the third night you have to move.
Which is ridiculous.
I could not,
When did they do that?
well, I had Orpha there, I had the guy from
That's
the
what I'm telling you.
hotel,
I'm telling you,
and I
it's a wedding
also
or another
had
conference
Amy on the
coming.
phone, and I had Miss Drake on the phone, and that is the best we could do. Because
It's
first
because
of
I
all,
have another event coming in that has a block of rooms, and they wanna see
But then
it
how
out.
did they suddenly, because people started complaining, open up another block? If that's true, Patty, how come an hour later that, we suddenly have 100 more rooms?
we're at the mercy of the hotel.
We are. And it's the principal, it's not the 1,300 for me, it's the principal. This is ridiculous. But anyway, so we'll, start the
I'll just pack really light.
I will give you
I don't
a
believe
few
that.
days to work out what you think would be a better idea. I think that's it for me. All right, anything else?
Is it
Oh,
gonna
I forgot to do your. Dr. Barfield.
Okay, so just a couple things in case you hear from any constituents. West Glades area Muse is underwater majorly. We are having a few, not many right now, transportation issues. Buses cannot get through those roads, some of them, not all of them. Right now we're good, but,
Is it the electric buses?
no, it's any buses.
Oh, okay, okay, well, that
It
makes me
could
feel
be
better.
four-wheel drive,
That's fine,
souped
that's
up,
fine.
diesel, whatever, it's not getting through
I
the.
just here.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. But my concern is it's gonna probably get a little bit more substantial because we are expecting a lot of rain here in the next coming days. Yeah,
it's supposed to rain every day for like 2 weeks now.
But my source was wrong.
well, and let's hope hope it doesn't, but for the people of Muse, I know it's very important. I was out at the community center this past Tuesday night and met Kaylee Tuck was there and she answered a lot of questions and the residents were very concerned, and it's only getting higher. So if you hear anything, what we're telling our parents is if there is a concern to call the school, and if we can get through, we get through. If not, we're not gonna put kids at any danger. So if there's a washed out road, we're not gonna try to drive through the ditch or whatever. As far as virtual and the AI, I just wanna say this, that, so while y'all were talking, just really quick, I wanted to see what it would say. I asked AI how could AI benefit our school board? And it gave like a whole list, like there's probably 80 different tips of ways that it could help our school board meetings run. From everything from, enhancing efficiency, in, how we look at data, it's just crazy how, what I'll do is I'll try to copy and paste this and forward this to you. But I think that we're missing the boat. I wanna get ahead of it instead of be the ones in the back of it. So I'm really gonna be looking into how we can, utilize the AI instruction curriculum. I know the commissioner was talking about it recently, about looking for schools that would possibly, do some, doing some pilots but I wasn't really, at that point, it wasn't.
Is that a drone?
No, I know that wasn't one of them, and I really didn't go there, so, but anyway, after my meeting this upcoming week, I'll come home and I'll have lots of good stuff for you all.
I just wanted to piggyback off of that, let you guys know, we have our toes in the water with AI in some of our curriculums. The state provides a free curriculum called learning.com, and it's for K through 12. Our teachers are actually being trained on it in October, and it's a digital literacy curriculum. It has keyboarding, it has a million different facets, but built into it is ethical use of AI and real world applications of AI. So I'm like all of you guys, we need to embrace it also with caution. HMH, our reading program for K through 2, opened up an entire AI suite, and they called me, the salesperson, and said, do you want this to be available for your teachers? Some districts are for AI, some are against, and I said, definitely, it helps them build creative, useful lesson plans, but we do have our toes in the water. We're not submerged yet, but we're working our way there.
And then I wanna just say, so there is a news crew here that wants to talk to us about the school, another one. we are gonna be getting signage, that's gonna be donated, so. Is there something wrong, Kim? Oh, okay, you just look funny,
You ready to say something?
yeah.
So the new
So,
crew is here now?
they're here, yeah. We're trying to work with the DOT to get a banner across 27 that will say that we're an A+.
Prior to Sheldon.
Yeah, like Challenger does, we're gonna get one that says ballet school, and then also, a couple of the residents out in Buckhead have told me that they would pay for a big sign that says, welcome, Glades County A+ School District, and then I talked to a few of the men in Muse at the association, they also said they would like to have a sign out in Muse. So, and then they would pay for them, so we'll, just something.
And we need one on the reservation for all those people that will be going to.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a good thing.
We're going to the concert there this weekend. We're bringing in big stars now.
That's good.
Country Western.
And that's really all I have. The high school's going well. Had a faculty meeting yesterday, it went real well. And just, I'm very thankful that the staff is really been amazing, very flexible. They understand that prior to my relocation, that I had some, already, commitments, and they've been very good. I appreciate my staff for stepping up and going over and filling my shoes when I couldn't be there. I told them yesterday, and I'll tell you just as a reminder, I know that it's not typical that this is how way it's supposed to be done, and it's not, but I wanna tell you, if I had to get up in front of a group of superintendents tomorrow, and, which I did this beginning of this week, I would tell every one of them to do what I'm doing. Because I'm seeing things as the principal that I did not see as a superintendent, things I didn't know, or maybe I didn't understand why they were doing something the way they're doing it. And some of the things that.
Have you done it at every school?
No, not Westlake or Palmetto, but, I will say that, there are a lot of really great things happening at that high school, and I don't think, I know their grade is lower than the other schools, and I don't think it's because they're working they're not working as hard as the other schools. I just think maybe they need to learn or maybe they need to be shown how to work in areas to be more proficient with their scores and their grades.
I had a question that Ms. Prolon actually asked me, was the change in our school grade data, did that improve the high school grade?
It did not. It might have by like 1 or 2 points, but not enough to bring it up to a B.
Okay.
It went to, in the column that's career readiness, college and career readiness, that's where the points were added. We submitted 12 names that were not counted or that we didn't see, and they took 5 of those names that they were, that they saw that they had not been correctly identified. So,
They only acknowledged 5?
Mhm.
Did they look at all of them?
I didn't ask, I just curious, yeah.
But they were all high school.
Yes, they were all students from, ITech. They were all our students that went to ITech, that when ITech sent their scores back to the high school, there was just a miscommunication in how to record it. And remember, we're the only school district in the state of Florida that's running another school district's school. So there's a lot of questions. And it's not questions we would have before because we've never had that situation arise. So,
Was the change in score when we received our A just the 1 point that we needed?
yeah, I don't know.
It was a half a point that made that point, wasn't it?
I think we were a percentage point off and we
Yeah.
received the percentage point, so.
Okay.
But, anyway, I I know I made a very, point, I guess you could say, to tell Kaylee that we were the only A school in her representative districts. And she goes, I know, my mom tells me all the time, so, anyway, so I know that's exciting for them. But now, and this is what I told my staff, and I know the other principals are saying, now is the time that we have to maintain that A. And we've got some, it's really hard, especially this year, they're going up on the score, because, they found, how they do it. And so we're gonna have our hands full with some of our data, but, I know our principals are looking at it, very closely. And we've got some areas at the high school that we think we can make some adjustments, so, we're gonna do good, we're gonna be up there.
Were we a back-to-back when we were in A district before?
Yes. They only made A one time, and it was the year that the school district, the grade changed. Mr. Aldridge, the grade changed, and they were in A, and then they went to, I believe the year, I don't know about this, the next year, I think they went to a C, or either an A to a B or an A to a C.
So if we do back-to-back, it'll be the first.
Correct.
And see, I would go partied with you, because I thought when Mr. Rod, I thought it was 2 years in a row.
No, ma'am, only 2011.
Okay.
And then I heard something, and I'm not sure if this is true, but I heard that Mr. Clark passed away. Is that, anyone heard that? Gary Clark?
Yeah, I heard that. That was about a month ago or more.
No, it was day before yesterday.
Oh, so I must have been hearing he was very sick.
He has had Alzheimer's and he was in a memory care facility. And previously, the last news I heard was that he was bedridden and not eating. So, he did pass away day before yesterday.
So I just wanna, he was a past principal in our school and a past superintendent. Just wanna prayers to his family and, just, he did a lot for our community and our county. I can remember him back as a little girl, he was, at the Methodist church in the Sunday school, him and Miss Clark, so, anyway, that's all I have.
Awesome, thank you. Anybody else? All right, all in, all done. Meeting adjourned.